I've been here for full-time 3 years and altogether about 7 years.
Yeah, I have 10 years full-time and 3 or 4 years part-time, so ballpark 14 years. And I'm actually second generation. My father worked here. He retired ballpark when I was 18, actually in this very room. Watched him present the watch that he was given to another student. A favorite of his, Chris Prattle was his name. And so I've been in this institution for a long time.
I think the only history I have at Moraine Valley probably started when my mom came here for a computer class when she wanted to advance herself at school, at work. So she took a class here, and I have to say that's the first time I even actually heard of Moraine Valley. So that was a long time ago. 2 of my kids have gone to school here. My youngest is about to start here next year when he graduates. So it's kind of become like a family thing for us to be here at Moraine Valley. So
Sure.
Happy to be working here, and now the kids are going to school here.
Yeah, it'll get behind awfully fast as it does. Like I said, I remember being here 20 years ago, and then my sister took classes here, I took classes here. Like I said, I taught part-time, working full-time, and yeah, it's been a blessing.
So what do you teach exactly?
I teach communications, teach writing classes, teach literature. Once in a while when I get so lucky, and yeah, how about yourself?
Well, I only teach criminal justice. I teach a variety of courses that the school offers in our program, investigations, policing, corrections.
You were an officer for a long time, right?
Yeah, well, I'm still a police officer, but I'm in a part-time capacity now, but I spent years as a police officer for the Chicago Police Department. So I began my criminal justice career there, and I kind of look at teaching criminal justice as a continuation of my criminal justice career. Now applying what I've done, teaching those that are after me to take over where I left off.
What inspired you to teach? Why off the streets? Why teaching?
Well, it's kind of by accident. Years ago, the particular unit I was working in, we had to do some training for the police officers throughout the city, and I kind of felt they had a knack for teaching people. I kind of enjoyed seeing how they, their eyes got wide when they learned something they didn't know before, and I was like, hey, I'm the one that just taught them that, and I kind of got a feeling, hey, I can do this. So I decided to go to school and get my master's degree for the sole purpose of teaching, and I was lucky enough to get a couple of teaching positions here and there at different places, and then I landed a position here in Moraine Valley, and after a while, if I can say it, I kind of found a home. So here I am.
Jobs to get, right?
Oh yeah, they don't come too easily. So I was lucky to get it.
Okay, well said.
So, how about yourself?
It's actually, this is the last place in the world. Don't take this the wrong way. The last place in the world I wanted to work, and then my father did work here. And I left just for a long time to go do my own thing with my own direction, and then went through an assistantship in school. And professor I had mirrored the sentiments my father was given to me. Said, hey, maybe you'd be good at doing this, good at teaching it. And an opening came up for an adjunct position, and I took it. And came across some great people, Tom Sullivan, old department chair here, and gave me a break, let me start teaching, and as they say, the rest is history. Been here teaching since. So.
Yeah. I have students that come back and tell me, hey, Mr. Espinoza, I'm working here, I'm working there. I mean, I had a Facebook message from a student who was here a few years ago, coincidentally sent me a message out of the blue the other day, letting me know what he's doing these days. He said, hey, I spent some time in corrections. I'm in the Chicago Police Academy now, and just want to tell you that I owe a lot of what I've done and what I'm doing to what you've taught me, and that was a big deal to me. I mean, I just out of the blue, it's unexpected, and I felt like I made a difference. So I think when I have students that come back and report to me where they're at and what they've been doing, I've asked students to do that. Say, hey, let me know where you're at one of these days, so we can kind of reflect on what we talked about. You can tell me how accurate I was, So I think that's. For me.
Couldn't agree with you more. It's the best. It's the absolute best feeling. Students send you an email once in a while, and it's a relatively feedbackless job, so you don't really ever fully know how you're doing, So students will send you emails, they'll send you letters, they'll stop in, they'll say hi to you, that kind of thing. And I always love to know my students have done better than I'm doing, and that's the most rewarding feeling ever. And so many of them come back, they're doctors, they're whatever they're doing, and they're doing it well, succeeding. So that's the best feeling. Yeah. Absolutely.
Probably a really small little incident, but it was funny to me. It was a little embarrassing actually, but I have classes that are kind of back to back to back, And I walked into one of my classrooms one day, and I grabbed the book and I started going over the lesson, and the students are looking at me just perplexed, like, what are you talking about? Only to find out I had the wrong book. I was teaching the wrong class. I don't know how I did that. I mean, it was criminal justice related, but you know, it was just the wrong class. And it only took me a couple minutes to figure it out, but it was enough to, you know, to kind of give me a funny moment and realize that I'm not perfect. So.
I walked into the women's restroom by accident, had my head down, getting ready for the first day of class, directly across from HR. And I walked into the bathroom.
Perfect place for that.
Two young women that stand there, kind of give me the look, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be leaving. So I went across the hall. Of course, started teaching class, and I look, and those two are sitting, of course, in the front row of class, waiting to say hello on day one. So
nice.
That was good. Yeah. I tackled Ricky Cobb during a flag football game, and it was just a fantastic feeling. Yeah. He tells the students about it, so every once in a while they'll find me in the hallway, and they're like, "Are you the guy? Are you the guy that tackled Cobb?" I'm like, "No, it was him." So, but yeah, it was a good time.